it going? Welcome back to another writing vlog, again, in my car. I should really get a nicer, let me turn off the air for a second. I feel like I should really get a nicer camera for my car because half of the time I am filming in my camera now, and I'm going to apologize in advance, it's gonna be loud. I just got back from a 9-day trip, a journey through a little bit of the Midwest as well as parts of the South, which I had never been to the South States before, so that was very cool to go see all of those different places. I came back visiting, I believe, 3 to 4 new states that I had never been to before, and also strep throat. I had strep throat really bad when I was in Louisiana, but I was able to remedy it pretty well by a hot shower and a smoothie and water while I drove the next day, because I was still in the middle of driving all the way back to New Mexico. But then my husband got it way worse, or it seems that he's getting it way worse. I think I was miserable like the second day into it, but he's been miserable like day 2 and 3 into it, and he talked to somebody through our insurance, just like a very like basic online urgent care type thing, and they're pretty sure that we got strep throat, so that's fun. So I am coming back with Jamba, and I am getting medication for him, not for me. I was not prescribed medication because I honestly feel like I'm on like the downhill, but we do have the same symptoms. He has them more intensely than I do right now, and I had them more intensely like the second day. So apparently strep throat is going around. I tried so hard to just like keep my distance when I was at the Jamba. Like, I didn't touch anything until the people who were helping me out were done touching it. I really hope I didn't bring strep throat to New Mexico. Anyway, I'm on a mango kick right now. Mango smoothies have quite literally been rocking my world recently. Okay, so obviously, since I have been out of town for a long period of time, I haven't done too much with editing, but I also kind of got into a weird spot with editing since the last time I talked to you guys in my other vlog, which I still need to edit and which I will post later this week. Excuse me. Yeah, I just have a dry cough, and like that hurts to do. I'm like barely touching my throat and it hurts. So basically where I am at right now with this editing process, even before I committed to going through this book and doing line edits, I had actually already done line edits for the first like 3 to 4 chapters, or like maybe like 3.5 chapters, and then I got to a point where all of a sudden I had not made any line edits, which makes sense because, you know, I had done them a while ago. So now I am actually going through another interesting transition of editing this, where I have to go back to step 1 and line edit a lot of stuff. I line edited so much when I was waiting in Jamba Juice, so that's kind of why I decided to also talk about it here. Like, look at all of that. This is all that I did in Jamba. I did a lot, so I'm proud of myself. With that being said, I am not sure how to count this as a writing day, because generally I count words once I actually type them in and go over them on my computer. But right now I'm just doing the line edit, but technically I'm still doing a lot of grunt work. So should I count the words? But it takes so long to count words on paper. I don't know. Maybe I should just write down 0 words, but that I still did write, as like a day count that I do usually. So that is something that I am in the process of trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to record that, because I do want to record progress a little bit more, because I wasn't very diligent about doing it the previous year, and I feel like because of that I was looking at what I actually did write down and what I did record, and I was super disappointed in myself. But then I had to think back and realize I just wasn't writing down enough tracking of how my progress was going. So I want to be better at it, and I want to give myself credit where credit is due. But I do think in this case, like, I don't want to count the words, A, because I'm way too lazy to count the words on paper, and B, I'm gonna go through those words anyway later. So I feel like that would be like, what's the word when you like double the numbers? The only word I can think of is fraud, but like no money is being lost here, and it's literally just me. I don't know what other way to describe it though. Also, today's Monday, the 18th. Obviously, I would have started my writing progress a little bit earlier, like around the 15th for the second part of March. However, I was gone. I did bring my book with me though, and I think that I did edit 1 page while I was out of town. I did do a lot of reading when I was out of town though, so I am proud of myself for that. But anyway, welcome to the vlog where I once again don't use my nice camera and I just use my phone. Gotta stop doing that. But it's so nice because I got a little phone stand in my car, so I can just adjust it however I want. Maybe I need like a fancy lens or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Hey everybody! Today is April 3rd. This is supposed to be the day that I posted the video for the end of March recap. But to be fair, I usually post later anyway, so I am just going to take this opportunity to finish up what I wanted to finish up towards the end of March. So here is what I have done for my third draft of edits for Escape the Safe House, the first book. About a week ago, I started doing some more red lines. That's the footage that you saw before when I was at Jamba Juice. And I ended up getting to, I believe, about 90 pages. I was really hoping that I could get to 100 pages, but there was one section that I feel like just needed a lot more attention than what I was able to give during that moment. So I am going to save that last 10 pages for another time, but I do need to update all of my red lines from what I did the previous week. I don't think that I am going to be able to truthfully really edit all of it because obviously there was a good chunk that I redlined after my travels in Florida. So that is what I am planning on doing tonight as I have the house to myself. And after tonight, I am going to just take a pause with Escape the Safe House because it's actually time to look at Sleepless Wonder again. I cannot believe how fast those 2 months went by. It's now been enough of a time period where the first draft of my science fiction novel has marinated a little bit more, and I am so surprised of how quickly it came and went. I think that what I am going to do going forward is that I am basically going to be doing these projects in tandem, and I am just going to adjust things depending on my mood, because sometimes you're really in the mood to research and you're really in the mood to like do a deep dive, and other times you just kind of want to do a blanket surface. So my guess is that Escape the Safe House I'll still be able to do in increments if I have moments of inspiration that I want to take advantage of. But for the most part, I think that the second draft is going to be a little bit easier of a project and I'll be able to get it done quicker. That I also wanted to share my March results, and they're going to be dismal. I do not know how much I was out of town. I'm going to be doing some math here really quick. Out of the 31 days in March, I was out of town for 16 of them. About 50% of the month, I was not home. So obviously these numbers are not going to look spectacular. But the good news is it's going to be very, very easy to improve in April because I really don't have too many plans of going out of town too many places. Oh, that is so bad. For the month of March, I wrote a total of 1,009 words. However, I will add in that there was a lot of days that I did count as writing days, but I made the word count 0 because I was redlining and I knew that those words would count later. So I wrote for 5 days out of the month. So pretty much all of the footage that I have of me writing, that was the time that I wrote or had time to write. My highest day streak was 2. Makes sense. So I wrote 16% of the time for the month of March. I am a bit embarrassed, but also not really, because I feel like I needed to set my expectations a little bit lower just based on how my schedule was going. And I still did manage to write. It wasn't like I completely was foregoing March. March was just really hectic and I did the best I could. And sometimes that's the best you can do. Obviously, next month will be much better and we can start that streak tonight. Thank you so much for joining me in my writing journey throughout the month of March. Sayonara, you guys, and I will see you next time.